Right. Hey, everybody. Polar Currency Dan, accompanied by my good friend Massabesic Numismatics Dean. And guess who I got this morning? I got a sleepy little boy. This is grandson that I get to have for a little bit. Mom is right off in the back wings, but this guy is just having a good sleep. We get the pleasure of having him this weekend because mom and dad, meaning daughter and stupid son-in-law, their boyfriend, son-in-laws, whatevs. This is Clifford. This is the boy, first grandchild. How about that? I just figured we'd show him, Dean, because it always
Well, we're
takes
waiting. We're waiting for more people. We got two, so that's
waiting for
good.
more people. So again, Clifford, grandson, old man, gray beard.
Getting ready to be Santa.
I am going to be Santa. I'll be his first picture with Santa. So
That's
how about
awesome.
he's awesome. What a good boy.
He is.
Old. But we're going to give him away now.
Because you're only
Yep.
I
passing
know.
the currency
So there's my
hobby.
oldest daughter,
Yep.
Sam.
Hello.
And just so you know, Sam, this is when they're the easiest.
I did hard part. I'm like, I don't think so. Cliff says,
That's
no more.
And boys, I mean, we are pretty dumb. We are pretty dumb. All right, Dean, I'm not seeing any comments. So I'm not
Yeah,
watching.
Emilio is on. Thank you.
Hey,
He says,
Emilio.
"God bless him, Dan." So, yeah, we got at least one on who's active. So, yeah.
Well, so today I'll give a little sneak peek to this is something that I've really never done before, but we got two boxes, box of 8 and a box of 20 to open up from PCGS. I got two in the last week and I have not opened them. They are chromatically sealed. So there's that kind of fun. I should, Dean. This is an experiment. I might talk about. Ooh,
Oh, yeah, that
I
would be
didn't
great
show
too.
those, right?
Yeah, I would start with those actually.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll get this out of the way here. I'm just right there. I'll switch over.
Yeah, share your screen. Get me out of the picture.
I got to do a little. So I had some Canadian notes. I think I have talked about these sometime, somewhere. I don't know. Um, you can hear me okay, can't you, Dean?
I can hear you just fine.
All right.
You're not spotlighted. So why don't you go ahead and spotlight yourself?
Oh, okay.
Um, because they're really far away.
It should zoom back in.
Well, you're zooming in, but on the live stream for the Zoom call, you still see me and you. So,
Well, Dean, I love seeing you.
yeah, but people want to see those notes, Dan. So
Yeah,
let's,
yeah, they're
yeah,
Canadians. I'm sure they're going
yes, exactly.
crazy.
Well, we got three now. We got three people. So,
And again, this is not the main thing. How do I speaker? That's you. Why can I never figure this out?
I thought you said it was a right click kind of a thing
Well, it is.
to
I can
spotlight.
do that to you. I can spotlight you when it comes up.
There you go. You just did it. Whatever you did, it's done.
Yeah, but it's delayed. I'm already back to
Oh, okay.
speaker. So as long as I'm speaking, I guess it should switch to me. You know,
That's weird.
did you see it? I mean, it's all delayed.
No, it went back to
Right. It will
it
go
being
back.
small.
Remember, they're like 30 seconds behind us. So every time I change something, Emilio,
Yeah.
how are you?
Oh, you're up to five people now.
All
So
right.
that's weird. So maybe if you,
I don't know. I'm sitting here on the menu going view profile, blur my background, pin,
maybe it's
hide
pinned.
myself view. I'll try pin.
And
This
convict currency just came on. He said Dean is better looking. So, and I agree with that. I agree.
well, yeah. For
And
those of you, when we started out this, I just had grandson. If you're just coming in, you missed him, but you're gonna have to come back and watch it again if you want to
yeah,
see my grandson. And it's just hotter than smoke in my office right now, so I'm gonna open the window a little bit. Pin. All right, so there we go. Pin, Dean, that's what it is. So You should be seeing this happening.
I hope so. We have PBA also joining us. He says, hi, all.
Hey, all. And by the way, so Dean, thank you, Dean from Massabesic Numismatics. Check his channel out if you haven't, but he's being my eyes and ears and watching comments while I'm doing a little show and tell today. Dean, are you seeing the big screen now?
Yeah, but it went back and forth when I started talking. So don't do anything yet because it could be still a delay. I just want to see.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Is that fun delay.
Because we want to see. Yeah, it's back to me talking. There's got to be a way. Maybe no, because then if you mute me, I can't tell you who's talking in the comments.
This
That's
is
so
really
weird.
dumb.
Yeah, you should be able to.
So do you see the Zoom screen at all, Dean? The real-time Zoom screen?
Yes.
All right, so now I flipped it back and I'm still pinned, but it doesn't mean anything. So if I remove pin, we just switched back and forth sides.
And you can't spotlight yourself. That's so weird.
I know it. It is super weird.
He says share screen. PBA is saying share screen. Is
Yeah,
that an
but
option?
it is an option, but that's yeah, it's my camera that's on. I have two cameras on PBA. So this has got to be through Zoom. And it's weird because when I do this with three speakers, that might be the problem. Multi-speaker. Oh, I thought I saw it.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I'm just going to say hello to folks because Big Apple joined us.
Sorry, Big Apple, I didn't call you. I got wrapped up into stuff. I was going to let Big Apple know we were going live.
Nice. And Emilio is he is currently working at the bar right now, so he'll watch
Nice.
after he finishes work.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea other than going to speaker. But when I put speaker, you show up on my screen on the live screen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my screen. What happens? So if you're seeing the live feed from Zoom, Dean?
It just keeps going back and forth. So when you're talking, it's showing the notes, but then when I start talking, it shows me.
All right. So
So I'm gonna try muting me.
I'm gonna see pinning if I do that. If I'm in this mode and pinning, that if it just stays there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I know that if at least it's picking up and it's going to me.
So I'm gonna mute myself, and then if somebody puts something in the comments that's really important, I will unmute and let you know. Okay? Because I want you to be able to show your notes.
Yeah, you don't need to mute yourself. You can just shut the hell up.
Well, I think any little sound is going to flip me over to me or flip over to me. So I'm just going to.
I'll flip you over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody get that? All right.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Right.
All right. So I got, for those of you who have just arrived, we got a little open box happening with PCGS. I got 20 notes in one, and I've got 8 notes in another. I've gotten those both in the last week, so I've held them. But I wanted to, while people were getting on, I haven't announced this, but it's like, okay, since I had some Canadian notes, a lot of them, I thought I would show. I sent up to CCS, which is Canadian Coin Certification Service. But this is the premier place to get things certified. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this camera. So bear with me. Device is sleeping. Oh, it's not that one. Sorry. It's Meet Tutu. Manual. So this is just all what? Well, we're just going to go with it because it's not letting me do it. So anyways, this is a 1923. Here was Canadian banknotes back in the day, 1923, when the Dominion of Canada was making their banknotes. And this is a form of the government. Actually, Canada's real name is Dominion of Canada. That's the real name of Canada. still to this day. But this is when the government uh, issued their banknotes, and you got King George V on the front on this. Handsome young guy. He was the king during World War One up until 19, I believe, 36, something like that. This is the back of the note, great engraving. I'm not going to spend too much time on these. And then you've got King Edward VIII, who never got coronated because he decided to abdicate his throne for some American divorcee whore. Yep. He went with the floozy, wanted to marry her, and the government and the monarchy just said, yeah, that's not going to happen. So there you go. King Edward, cool back, interesting color on the back. So I just decided to have my other notes. This is my Canadian note collection from 1935, if I can pick these up. 1935. These start to get expensive. You can see the grades. They're not cheap, folks. So this is the $1 again. Still King George V. Interesting back. There's his wife, Mary of Teck, Queen Mary. Queen Mary the ship is named after her. Interesting story behind that, because you know, guys, I love my ocean liner notes. Love the blue. And then here's Prince Edward, not king yet. So there's Prince Edward. By the way, Prince Edward is King Charles's great uncle, right? Yeah, great uncle, I think. Because Queen Elizabeth, that's her. This is his uncle. She is he is the uncle of Queen Elizabeth. And then here's Queen Elizabeth. Oh, got to show the back. Love the orange. Look at that. Why don't they make
Can
currency
you just bring them up a little closer to your camera, Dan?
again? I just don't know why I can't zoom right at this moment with this camera. It's really bugging me. Remote controller. Anyways, all right, we'll do this. Anyways, love it. Bank of Canada. That's who still issues the notes today. Then you've got King George VI. This is the brother of. Oh, weird. That just zoomed by itself. I did not do that. This is the brother. Oh, it's automatically zooming. Weird. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know it could do that. Super weird. I should get a tripod. What do you think, Dean? Anyways, but you got the 1, the 2, kind of a deep blood red brown. That's what I've got going on. This is auto framing right now. See? What is I'm not doing that, folks. This is like we're possessed right here. Anyways, love the blue on this. But you can see that these aren't expensive notes. You know, should I have gotten them graded into an F12? Probably not. But it was $17 a note plus shipping of a total of $60 shipping each way to Canada and back. I had a really good experience. There's the purple 10. Love the purple back with Mercury, common figure on banknotes because he's the Roman god of commerce. I'm sure if I'm wrong, 667 Hodge will correct me. Anyways, there's the 20. Great note, great look. They got, I mean, just the artistry. These were done by the Canadian Banknote Company or the British American Banknote Company, which is kind of the same company. This one I did not. I bought it this way. This is the Fitty, you know, because I'm so cultural wise that when I listen to my rap, 50 Cent. Love that back though. So I always find this back ironic. Talked about it. So if you've ever watched the movie The King's Speech, okay, this is the guy that had the bad, horrible stutter. So on the back of the note, knowing that he has a bad, horrible stutter, why don't we just put a picture of a Roman goddess speaking on a microphone? How about that for just rubbing it in? I mean, come on, folks. And then you've got who is this? This is the first prime minister. Or is this Laurier? I can't remember. I don't know. It's Canada. Beautiful. By the way, I should have included this in my ocean liner note video because guess what he's holding? I did not. Should have. Anyways, that is it with that. How exciting is that for Canadian notes actually sent up to Canada? All right.
Sorry, Dan. I don't know why it wouldn't let me unmute. Yes, you're right. That is the first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, that is on the.
Oh, that's McDonald. That is
yeah.
not.
Laurier is usually seen on the 5, but I think for the 37 series, he's on the $1,000 bill, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Anyways, that is Canada. I'm switching back and forth, hopefully that it will trigger something a little bit.
Yep. And one gentleman said, where is he here? Monkey King Metals said that he has a graded devil's hair, which is always fun. Those devil faces are really cool to collect.
Yep.
That's the 1954 series.
Yep. And that's the next series. Actually, I just sent it off. That whole series, 1954. I don't have the 1,000, which you can get for about $800, by the way. But they're actually a really fun series. By the way, I am working finally on my video number 9, Mexico versus Canada versus USA, final edition, today's version. So we're going to compare all the contemporary currency, what's being issued today with Canadian, and then I'll have one more because I'm going to award top overall who gets overall from 100 years of making banknotes from the 1920s to the 2020s. How about that for excitement? But that's coming up. Everybody hates those videos, but I don't care because it's me, right, Dean? Just don't care.
I love those videos, but I hear what you're saying.
It's what I do, and you guys can suck it. How about that for being nice? I'm just a nice guy. All right, I'm switching my camera here. I'm going to zoom out for this part. Resume, don't go sleeping. Yeah, I am zoomed out. All right, so here's my big unboxing. So we got our 2. What do we think, Dean? Should we go with number 1 or number 2? Eight notes or?
Which one has the least notes in it?
This one, the one I got in my hand.
Let's do that one first then.
All right, so I feel like I'm Andy with, Andy opening up. Oh. There we go. Here's Ontario's form that you can use, Ontario, to submit. This is how they pack. They do by the way, this box comes inside another box. It's actually pretty stunning what they do and how they pack stuff. I think that's it. Get rid of the box. All right, here we go. So here I just sent, you guys know that I've been sending in my notes. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here now. Yep, that's on that camera. I got to get my other camera. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. What is the difference? Dang it. I apologize for this, folks, but I just pretty much suck at this. I do not. I kept trying to figure out, it's the exact same camera. I have 2. Please enable virtual camera. I do not want to do virtual on this, but the other one has it. Reset.
Before you jump in, we just got a very cool comment.
Yeah.
From Orig Coin says, interestingly, a friend told me he owns a Canadian or Canada $1 with 666 numbers, a combination of the serial number. He shared the picture of the note, and it turns out that it is a 1954 dated note with the devil's face. That's pretty cool. And yes, if your friend's really good at marketing, he could probably sell that for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, probably could. I'm just gonna, man, I don't know what, I have no idea why this one camera here will not cooperate. And it's remote controlling, and I don't want it to do that. But it is, and there's nothing I'm looking at all the stupid controls because I'm an idiot. Auto framing. There, I just turned it off. Ah, there we go. I had auto framing on and I didn't know it, Dean.
That'll do it every time, Dan.
So, so this is, I can do that, but I don't want to do that. All right, so there we go. How about that for better? You should be able to see that now, Dean. By now, you should be able to see a much better close-up view.
Yes, sir. Thumbs up. But I'm trying not to speak so that we
Yep,
can keep
I
you
hear.
highlighted.
All right.
Looks great.
So again, I just removed these, by the way, from the box. So just FYI, if you're wondering, they put, Andy always talks about this, but I always wanted to say, show people, if you haven't done this, you can see they put a film on the banknotes to protect them. And of course, there's a charge if you want to have this removed, but obviously you can see the back and it's got stains notes on it already. But there's the film, so you got to go through and rip them all off. I'm not going to do that for all these notes, but this is my very fine 30. I'm happy with this grade. And I did guess all the grades on this. I don't know. Should I get that up, Dean?
If you want, because just in conversation, yeah, you called that was a 30, and it is a 30, which is pretty cool. And I'm hoping to purchase that from you, if that's still an
Yes,
option.
that's right. That's right. I did. That's correct. I called it a 40.
Oh, you did? I thought you thought it was a 30. Yeah.
Well, after we remember, I had originally called it a 40.
No,
And
well, okay. I'm remembering that conversation different.
well,
I thought you
yeah.
said you thought it was a solid 30 and that it might get a 35, but I think your first inkling was correct.
Okay. So yes, I did. So on these notes, I had put down in here that it would be a 35 CVF. But I did not notice, I did not, for whatever reason, there is staining back through here. I did not notice that. So hopefully we're seeing this okay.
Yeah, we're seeing it great. I'm just again,
Yeah. No,
yeah, but it looks fantastic on the out there for everybody. And you got 14 people with us, so thank you everybody for joining
good.
us.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So anyways, this was I did buy another one. So I did upgrade this note. But this is a really nice note that I'm probably going to sell to Dean if he wants it. It's a great looking note. It does have a little bit of issues, but I said it was going to be a 35 and it came back and there's reasons. There's a tear up here, which doesn't go into the design or anything like that, but it's got issues. And I didn't see a couple things. That's what I remember, Dean. That's why I was thinking I might be able to get a 40 on this. And then when we talked about it and trying to establish what Dean was going to rip me off for, that's when I'm like, oh, dang. Anyways, next note. I'm going to get these out of the way next note. So $50 1934 Federal Reserve note. I had predicted that this was going to be a 15. I was very, very, well, wait, nope, sorry. I said this was going to get a 20 and it got a 25. And this is where I'm like, huh, really? I mean, that's some pretty dirty note, huge fold coming through here. And why I have this note is because it is the blue-green seal. And by the way, I am working on a video of why do we have the colors of seals that we have. And trust me, between 1928 and 1934, Federal Reserve notes had like 18 different type of seals. And including, if you go in here looking at the Federal Reserve Bank, they eventually drop the from the Federal Reserve Bank in the seal of the Federal Reserve. But of course, it's a Minneapolis banknote, right? Love the Minneapolis banknote series of 1934. This is part of my type collection, and that's why I wanted this seal. So 50s, I do not have every different type of signature combination, but it's got a clean 25. That surprised me a lot. I was guessing this was going to be a 20 tops. So That's that. We got another 50. This is a 1950. And again, you know what? I just want types for my collection. I'm not going to go gaslit. I'm not going to go all out trying to spend $1 bazillion on the value of this note. And you could question, should I have gotten it graded or not? Anyways, yeah, don't care. So this is obviously a very fine 20. I had guessed very fine 20 on that. So that's, this is where I think over the past 5, 6 years, I've gotten, I think, fairly accurate, plus or minus, obviously. But, and it does say writing in ink, and that was on the back and on the front. So it's a decent note, very fine 20, no details on it. There you go. And a hundo. So this is the same series, 1930. Well, this is 1934, back to the other one. If we're going the 100, this is the 1934. What did I say on this? I was going to say it's a 20. That was my guess, 20. So 25F. Again, if you're like, well, why, Dan, why did you get this graded? That's super weird. Yeah, it is, but I want it graded. I want it in paper. I'm not planning on upgrading these notes. I'm not planning on doing anything else with these notes except go in my collection. And I know when I'm pushing daisies, folks, that my wife and or children can sell these off much, much, much easier. And this is probably, what have I got for an estimated value on this note? 1934 comes in at about $180 to $200. So, it's borderline whether it should have been graded or not. I'm sure it has, yep, partial ink stamp on the back for the comments, and obviously it's right there, which I think adds a little flavor flav. It doesn't bother me. Does not bother me. Hard fold. Hard fold. I'm almost wondering if that's an error fold. It's not, but there's a very far hard fold over here, one right there. Anyways, next one is still another 100. That's the 1950D. And this one I also said, hey, I said 20 and got a 25 out of it. I haven't seen these. I didn't look on the computer. So that was a clean note. No comment-free note. Obviously a hard fold, Dean. You would hate this banknote. But that's okay. I'm okay with it. Again, I just want an example with that. So there's your 1950D, which by the way has a very different paper. Very different type paper on that. Next one, let's see. The next one's coming up is 1963. I was saying this one might be a 40FX. Am I going to be a winner? Nope. 35VF. And I'm okay with that. That's okay. It's a good looking note, got nice color on it. And this is where you see the difference of the two notes, and I'll be talking about this. I know one's a 25, one's a 35. This is brighter paper, but it really is a different paper. The ink it's changed a little bit. And so has the font has changed a little bit. Yes, I do get into that kind of stuff. But yeah, nice 35. Yeah, that's nice for the collection. So that was, again, why I am saying, hey, folks, why is this part of my collection? Why is this a type collection? Because in 1950, they basically are the same design. I just mentioned a couple different variations, but it says will pay to the bearer on demand. It does not say that on the 1963 version. So that's why these are types in my collection. And of course, you can't have this. What's the next 100 that's going to come along? That is going to be series 1966. I was over guessing or over hoping, and that it came out of 30. I'm a little bummed out about it, to be honest with you, but not shocked about it either. And again, this is duller because of taking off that paper. And I'm going to take off the front on this next note because I'm actually super excited about that. But nice 30, comment free, right? And these notes are very, 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 in my opinion, affordable. They should be much more compared to how much of them are out there. But this is kind of cool because I was born in 1966. So, yes, doing the math, I turn 60 years old next year because I'm a grandpa and one old MFer. How about that? Yes. But gotta love that red seal. So, final note out of this batch.
Before you move forward,
Yeah,
Roy Richards said, if you haven't overpaid for a note or paid to grade some borderline notes, are you really a collector? And I have to agree with him there. I think, yeah,
man, that's some sage advice right there. Yeah, I mean, people, anybody watching should be going, what the heck is he doing? Why is he grading these notes? Even back to the Canadian ones. You're right. But I want my collection, of what, yeah, I want them to be graded. I want them to be nice, decent notes that can be sold off without any question later on. And I think I will get I mean, hopefully I'm not going to die in the next year, but I could step off a curb. If I do, guess what? All right. So this is I'm going to, before I reveal this, I'm going to show you. So this is one of those things where you have friends called Ontario 100. And I'm starting to peel the plastic off this so I don't do it in front of the camera. So, but I just
well,
wanted
while
to,
you're doing that, Blue Oval Pro collects. He says, which I have to agree with him because this is so true. How do you really feel, Dan? LOL.
how do I really feel? Hey, by the
Yeah,
way,
your opinion with everything is wonderful.
I do have an opinion. I know that's shocking to everyone. By the way, that's Dean, Blue Over Pro, Dean, another Dean. Dean, coffee tomorrow morning, you name the time, text me. Um, so anyways, there you go. Dean is a local boy here in Minnesota too. So Ontario 100 said, "Hey guys, I'm selling off a note. I've upgraded. I think he upgraded. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, he got the brown seal version of this note, and I've wanted this note for a long time. And it fits my type. It doesn't even fit my type collection. It's one of those notes that you have to have it, and it's the Jackass. And the Jackass note, obviously, flip it around. There's your Jackass. See if I'm doing that correctly. But so Ontario, it was in a PCGS, old PCGS, old crappy one. I've got the I cut it out and said, you know what? I don't like the holder. I don't care what grade it comes back in, but this is what the plastic does. I mean, you can really see the difference of what it does to the coloring. Can you see that? So that's when Andy shows his notes, he is not peeling this off, and I don't blame him. He leaves them on until he sells them, so the person that gets them. But that really does inhibit the view of that.
It
But
is noticeable for
note
sure.
that what Dean?
It is noticeable for sure.
Yeah, it really is. So you'd think it wouldn't be, but it really is. So I am thrilled. Sorry, Ontario. I bought it at a 15 grade, but it could have gone down to 10. I love Ontario. And thank you. He gave me a great deal on this note, so I probably owe him another favor on this. But I mean, this is even if it was a 15, what used to be a 15. This is what I look for in my collecting, especially with these old notes. A 15 with great visual. I mean, look at the color on the seal and the serial numbers. And it's got bright paper. This is great visual appeal. So all I'm saying, guys, if I can do this and have the patience, you can if you're budget minded. And what is the budget? What is this note worth? Yeah, this is a $450 note as a VF15, give or take. So very happy. Comment free, even better. Didn't know that. Did not know that. So this is really, I am super excited to get this note and bought it out from Ontario 100 a while back and sent it off to get graded. Takes 2 months to get back. So that's that first set of notes. Should we take a break, Dean, on that? And is there any questions? I switched the
No, I would keep hustling. I'd like to see that second box.
well, don't you want to see me, Dean?
Not really. No,
right,
no
all
one
right.
wants to see either of us, I would say. They want to
Back
see
back to
us.
the notes then. All
Yeah,
right.
we are up to 19 though, so that's really good. You got
All right.
19
Well,
people
this is
watching.
officially an unboxing going on here. It's exciting. So there's PCGS. Let's get it straight. Wow, that's exciting stuff. All right. And see, I'm not no fakery involved here. It's the real cut, Dean. These boxes are, oh man, I'm not doing anything wrong. All right, man, I'm feeling just like Andy, you know. So these notes are not going to be high value notes. I'm going to bring up my screen of what I guessed here on these notes. This is going to be a combination of notes. It's going to be mostly obsolete banknotes that I sent in. So there's my pile. Should be about 20 notes, but they're obsoletes and or script, SCRIP for those folks who are watching. It's script, not script. So we are all educated as best we can. So first one, this was kind of fun coming out trying to grade this, by the way. Or try, I don't know anything about obsoletes, especially very strange obsoletes, but you bet take your best guess. So there's this. This is my obsolete banknote from Denver, Colorado. I'm collecting one obsolete and or script. By the way, the further west you get, the tougher it is. I'm going to zoom in on this
Yeah, I
just
was
a
gonna say bring
hair more.
either zoom in or bring it up to the camera a little bit more.
Sorry, I got about five different screens I'm looking at.
Yeah, because
There,
that
that
looks like a very cool note. And you said it's from Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, this is from Colorado. It's a labor exchange. It's called a due bill. And I honestly don't know. I haven't done the deep research on this, but it's for a whopping 1/10 of a cent. I'm like, can't you just call it a penny? Or 0.01, but it's not even worth a 1/10 of what? Is it a penny? I don't actually know, but I'll be doing some research on this, and you can really see how cloudy this is on that. But it is cool that it has a back, little progress stops, little messaging back there. Legal tender toll gate with a train, really cool train going on there. And it does have annotations. Some knucklehead put $8 on it, and they note that, but I don't care. The grade, what did I guess? What did I guess, Dean? I said this was going to be a 25. Um, I didn't say that. You know why? Because it was graded a 25 VF PCGS currency, and I hate those holders so much that I cut it out and then resubmitted, and I got a 20. So I got the prices wrong, music, right? But I don't care. I hate those holders so much that I will cut a note out and take a hit on it, which I did. So that's okay. We're okay with that.
Yeah,
All
but with
right.
a note like that, Dan, it's not like a really, really expensive note. Like if you had a note that was in a holder that's a 25 and it's a $1,500 note, and if you had it regraded to a 20 and it was going to drop down to like $700, then that's a kind of a note that you just keep in that holder, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're going to take that type of hit, yes. And personally for me, I'll talk with my hands. Personally for me, I hate it when guys do this. Um, I wouldn't buy that note. Sorry, I'm not going to buy a $1,500 PCGS currency note. Won't do it. Move on. That's me. I'm a dick. How about that? Is that good for an answer? But yeah, Dean, you're right. If you're
Excellent.
like one of those notes and you're not like me, you're a normal person. But yeah, this note had a $90 value. And again, a lot of these you will question, should I have even gotten them graded or not? But I think grading these obsolete notes actually gets me the value. I will get this money back if somebody else wants to buy that at some point. All right. Next one is this is kind of cool because a little history to it. The Indian Territory of Oklahoma. Haley Coal and Mine Company out of Haleyville, Oklahoma. So this is my Oklahoma note. And it's kind of, where do they say IT somewhere on this? Somewhere. But it's a 25-cent note and it's in merchandise when presented at our store. So this is, there it is, Indian Territory. Haleyville, Indian Territory, because that's what Oklahoma was before, what is it, 1908 or something like that. I had guessed, again, I had no clue what this would be, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Unk, and I just said Unk and got a 64 PPQ. That's pretty cool. I'm happy about that. And what's kind of neat, it's got the rail car just full of coal because it's the Haley Coal Company. And there's the back. It's got some color, 25 cents. And dealers in general merchandise. So this is script for the store at the coal and mining company store. All right, next one is these are going to be some really different ones. And again, the farther west you get with obsoletes, that's when it gets really, really hard, very hard to get true obsolete banknotes out of it. You got to go to script or depression script or emergency type issues. And so that's what this next one is from Washington State, Tacoma, Washington. This is a depression script note, 25 cents, issued by the Community Service Bureau of Tacoma, Washington, or the trade interchange. It's called a trade interchange certificate. And honestly, I don't know the deep dive on this because I have not done it. Again, I've not done the research on what actually the Community Service Bureau was, but I guarantee you, when I do, you will know. But there's Mr. George right on the back of it, kind of a cool vignette. It's actually very well done for this type of note, that's my understanding of that. So that's Washington. Oh, what did I have? What did I guess? I guessed Tacoma, Washington, that it would be a 20 VF, and it's a 20 VF. So that's all right, not bad. Next one coming out of Montana, Butte City, Montana. It's exciting. I guessed that this was going to be 40 XF. My eyes were a little bit too big. I came back a 35 VF with details. The details does not surprise me, but and again, I really didn't care. Just overall, this note, FYI, value on these. Where is my value? This is like a $40 note. The other one was an $80 note, the Washington. So again, this is not a expensive note, but it's a partial payment receipt, which is considered obsolete because it falls under script and it's just a subcategory. And it's dated March 20th, 1902 from the great state of Montana. Interesting that they would put a serial number on a 50-cent note. That just kind of, wow. And they do something else. I don't know what this number means. It's the series. They actually issue a series over there. And it does have a reverse, and there's my edge and internal tears. That's what got the detail. And a missing corner tip that also could have got the detail on it. So we will see from there. But that's what got the details. But again, I'm not concerned about that. I just wanted a Montana obsolete type banknote. Next one comes from a different depression. This is from the California state of, and this is how I'm like, I have no idea where this is coming from. I have no idea. So I just said, I knew it looked good. So I'm like, I think this is going to be a 40XF. I think it might have details because it's missing a corner. But going back to Andy, this is a big note, by the way. Oh, let's see, I pull, give you an idea of how big this note is. You can see that it's kind of obsolete size. The other ones have been smaller, I think you could tell. So this came back uncirculated 61. So add a 61, this first 61 I've ever gotten, or actually held in my hand. And according to Andy, from Andy's notes, 60, 61, 62s, it's kind of like, well, if you don't know how to really grade, you give it one of those, kind of. or in the 60s, 61, or for sure 61 and 62, it's because the alignment is so bad. But I'm like, it's not. The alignment, is pretty good on this. I mean, if you look at it, it might be worse on the back. We'll find out. But I thought I would get the details because of the missing corner, but obviously no details on that. So this was a Depression script note, Panic of 1907. They issued this note because they were running out of money. They didn't have any money. And the Panic of 1907, well, really was a big deal. It's second, probably, arguably, to the Great Depression of the 1930s. And they issued this because they were running out of money. They did not have money, and it's out west, so they made this. Panic of 1907 was so bad that 7 years later, really 6 years, 5 years is when they started. That's this panic related. It brought the Federal Reserve Act, right, of 1914, 13. That's what made the Federal Reserve notes. So got a cool back, minor pencil missing corner tip. So there's the minor pencil. And tells you this was when I see pencil like this, and again, I learned this from Andy, it's probably from an old school collector, and they marked 54J on it. I don't know if that's got anything to do with, California and the number. It does not. I don't see it. But anyways, cool note, right? There you go. Yeah, I already said what that grade was. I got to pick it up a little bit, getting long in the tooth. All right, here's a true obsolete remainder, Providence, Rhode Island, 64 PPQ. I knew this was going to be UNC. What did I say it was going to be? Actually, I said it was going to be a 50 AU. And that tells you how much I don't know about higher end notes, grades. I don't. This is where I struggle, and I'm not going to try to play that game. But 64 PPQ, very happy. It's a uniface, so no back. It's cool, and this is the Bank of America. That's the Bank of America today. I think it's a kind of a cool looking note.
Yeah, can you bring up a little closer on the vignettes?
Yeah. Well, I'll just hand do it. But you can see the level of detail on that.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing that main vignette on other obsoletes.
Yeah, with the eagle there happening.
It seems pretty unique.
Industry and agriculture. Looks like agriculture on the left, industry on the right. And of course, the random maiden chick. Is she holding something? I can't see from my perspective here. Oh well. But yeah, 64 Rhode Island, so that checks the box. So I was surprised. I just called this a 50. So good for me. Love it. All right, next one. Goes out to Kentucky John because it's my Kentucky note. And what I like about this, I dig these because it was a problem back then, and they are accepted. I'm trying to look. Southern Bank of Kentucky. I said this was going to be a 30 VF. It came back a 25. So that's pretty dang good for an obsolete. But what I didn't know when I sent it in, guess what? It's a counterfeit. But it's a contemporary counterfeit, and they count it as a real bill. And that, sometimes you'll get counterfeits that are modern. So when they say contemporary counterfeit, that means contemporary for the time period of the 1859, 1860s time period. So this is where this is a counterfeit. How cool is that? Love it. Love it. But I easily could have been, easily could have been rejected and come back in a body bag, right? Saying, nope, that's it. So that's Kentucky.
That's fascinating. I wonder what they see about the note that makes it a counterfeit, because it looks like any other obsolete like that you'd find that's been signed, and even the vignettes look really nice on that. So it's kind of surprising. I wonder what it is that makes it that. That's cool though.
I'd like to say that I'm smart enough. Sorry, I'm at the background here getting something. I'd like to say that I'm smart enough to know that, but looking at this, see, bring this note back. I will say this is not thin paper. All right. It is not typical now that I'm looking at through the holder. It really is not thin paper. See the pinholes. Again, this is what drives me crazy, right? Why wouldn't you put pinholes on this? Why? I don't care if they are or not, but it's like sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, it does seem to be thicker paper, Dean, to answer that question, but good observation. All right, next one. This was my first Minnesota National Bank note, or excuse me, obsolete banknote that I ever got. It's from City of St. Paul.
Oh, PBA just said serial numbers for counterfeits are listed. So
Oh, there you
he,
go.
he sent it for a lot of obsoletes. That must be how they know.
Mm. Yeah, if that, yes, great information. So this next one was the first obsolete that I ever got. And it is, I was guessing, where is it? Sorry, I lose track of it. By the way, this is, I know I didn't carry the values over these notes. This is probably a $125 note when I got it raw. I guessed 50 AU and I got a 53 out of it. So very happy about that. This is the Dayton Bank, and it was a bank opened up when Minnesota was a territory. Minnesota became a state in 1858 and issued out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Famous neighborhood is called Dayton's Bluff in Minnesota, and that is who this is named after. And if you can see it, Dean, can you see the hairdo? Can you see his pompadour looking thing?
Oh, yeah.
So they would call this guy a dandy, by the way. He'd be a dandy back in that. So what was super fun about this, and I got to give a shout out to Blue Oval Pro, my friend Dean, is that we were able to complete the set of twos, fives, and the ones on this. So this was really fun to complete my mini set of all these notes. So that was awesome. Really, really fun for that. All right. Next one is going to be one of the thinnest notes you'll ever see. This is the thinnest. I've got another one, but I sent this one in to be graded. I was hoping that this was coming to come in 20. Oh, here's why I was hoping, because I got to read all my notes. It was certified by PCGS Currency 20VF, and I cut it out. Drum roll, please. 20VF. How about that? So here again, you can see how thin this is. You can, without backlighting this, I think you can see my finger through the note. If I throw, let's just do this a little bit here. And look how, I mean, that is some thin stuff. How thin is it? Well, let's compare it to another thin one, but not quite as thin. And compare it to another one that gets a little bit thicker in paper. All right, let's compare it to a modern day note. It is thin. Very, very thin. If I could shut that light off, good to go. Anyways, love this note. You've got General Winfield Scott on it. He was the original Union commander at the beginning of the Civil War, but he was too old and senile and couldn't get on a horse. But he was the commander of all Army and ground forces, probably naval if during the War of Mexico on that. So it's just very detailed. That's another thing with these super thin notes. They get really good printing. This is not intaglio printing. This is lithograph printing, and this is stunning lithograph printing. I mean, it really, really is the level of detail that goes into this note. And that's because the paper is rice paper, tissue paper, blow your nose in it, whatnot. And it does not have a reverse. But very happy with this because I do have the $1 bill, which has Abraham Lincoln with this. And I think this is something that Junk Silverman would appreciate coming out of his neighborhood of Trenton, New Jersey. All right, next note. See if I started screwing around with my stuff. Trenton, Ohio, Franklin Township. The Franklin Silk Company. I was hoping. I'm gonna move my screen here a little bit so I can see this better. Franklin. I was hoping that this $2 bill would get a 50, and I got a 64 out of it. So I was very, very, very pleased with that. The Franklin Silk Company and out of Franklin Township, Ohio. I did a little bit of research on that. And again, you got Ben Franklin hanging out. So the township was probably named after Ben Franklin. Not shocking about that, I'm sure. But yeah, there you go. And I don't have the value of this note, but because I didn't carry it over to my pre-list like I did the other one. I don't know why. All right, next one is from Washington, D.C.
While you're bringing that up,
Yeah,
Dean over at Blue Oval Pro Collects, he says they will normally give you a couple pinholes that are outside the portraits without a comment. So, which
I
makes
know.
sense.
It
But I
does.
do agree with you. It is a little frustrating why they just don't note them. But anyway,
But I guarantee you, if it was this note,
yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna note it.
they're going to note it. And so why not do everything the same when it comes to those things? I know everything cannot be graded identically. I guarantee you with this note, if there was pinholes, they would have noted it. So that's what I get frustrated, Mr. Dean. But good point. Dean from Blue Oval Pro is not he is correct. He is very correct. Thank you for that. I seem to be spitting all over myself here. I'm just so excited. Washington, D.C., I was hoping this was going to be a 10 very good, and guess what? We got a 10 very good. Love it that this is one of the notes that got a dog right there. Come on. Who doesn't like a dog on their banknotes? And it's a very cool vignette. Love the 3 with the eagle. Again, at my angle, trying to get it on the camera, I can't see it, but there's George Washington, and it's issued out of the District of Columbia from Washington. Kind of an older note for that. So I am very thrilled with that. And I love seeing this with the overprint coming through. So that's that. Next one. All right. Speaking of dogs, we got more dogs. This one, I'm cheating. All right. So if you know your history, I'm doing all the states. So there's my Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. This one is here's my problem. West Virginia obsolete banknotes are not cheap and they're scarce. I don't want to say they're rare. They do exist, but you got to remember that Virginia became a state in 1862 when it broke off from the state of Virginia during the Civil War and stayed with the North. So not a lot of no obsolete banknotes below that. They were all in Virginia. So I'm going to cheat a little bit on my collection. And this is from Wheeling, West Virginia. So shout out to Jeff Davis, who is a resident. But I got this one. I really wanted this one specifically for that center vignette. I mean, how cool is that? A dog guarding a safe full of money. I mean, come on. I love this. Love it, love it, love it. So this was actually issued, I see, in 1849, I believe, if I can read that. So I'm calling this Wheeling, West Virginia. This one came into details. What did I say it was going to be? I can't remember. Yeah, 15F, but the details came in. Not shocking. I was certainly aware of the corner missing, and I don't know if the corner missing kicked it into details, but previously mounted certainly did, or a combination of both those things. Also, the note, super cool, has a back. And you can tell by the backs, by the way, one, that the bank actually chose to do the backs. But even when they did, sometimes they don't print them as well as the fronts. And it was printed in this green ink at the time, and this was a patented green ink that, by the way, this is why the greenbacks that we have, this color of the reverse of our money today is related all the way back to this green because what the counterfeiters could do is they could take the paper, wash out the ink, and I guess or photocopy when cameras were coming about, and you couldn't photocopy green. And somehow, some way that didn't turn out to be true later on. Anyways, cool note. Love the dog. Random chicks, right? Don't understand it. Random dudes, probably bank officers, I'm assuming. We'll find out later when I do a deep dive. This one I got from my good friend Dean. I love stories like this. So, Dean, why don't you tell part of that story?
Oh, is this the Eagle, the Canal Bank?
Yes.
Or
So I'm
no,
going to
Citizen, is it
show the
Canal or
note.
yeah, it's
You
Canal
tell
Bank.
you
Yeah.
tell the story while I display the note.
Well, it was kind of fun. There's a antique shop I used to frequent near where I grew up, and inside this shop, there's just a whole bunch of cubbies, and there's different dealers, antique dealers, and one of them is one of the new dealers was a currency guy. And when he first started, he was putting notes in, and they all seemed to be like 20 to 30% below kind of the normal prices that were out there. So I started frequenting it because I was getting some really good deals, and I would take videos and then send them to Dan with the prices. And when I videoed this one, you were all over it. You were like, "Yeah, I need that. I need that note."
I definitely need that note.
Yeah, yeah,
So thank you, Dean, for picking this up. Dean's got himself a good eye. Let's really zoom in on this baby.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Unfortunately, he has put his prices up to almost eBay prices, so I don't really go by there too much anymore. But that is a great note.
I mean, it was for the Eagle alone, the vignette. It's actually a classic bank from Canal Bank. The level of detail, and it's funny because now I can instantly spot this is printed by the American Banknote Company. You can see that this is kind of the giveaway of what they do, but just an super outstanding, cool note. So there you go. I'm going to go to this mode so I can quit holding the note because that would probably be better. All right. Oh, by the way, so this was uncirculated when this was Unk note when Dean gave it to me or ripped me off. I'm sorry. Gave it to me. Just kidding, Dean. I said it was going to be Unk. It came back 64. Really don't care about PPQ or not on that. But again, folks, if you're going to get one, if you want to get one obsolete note, how cool is that? Get one with a great eagle on it. I mean, because it really, really is cool. All right. And uniface from that aspect. All right. Next one. Here's a script note from Nevada, the Manhattan Silver Mining Company. These are not expensive notes at all. I think this is like, yeah, $50 worth. I was hoping for a 40. Again, I don't know. It's like once I get above 40, I just don't know the value of stuff. But this one is really, 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 I mean, it's a nice, basically script note from the Manhattan Silver Company paid to the bearer. I don't know if they paid their employees like that or not, but it is a remainder for obvious reasons, has not been sold. And it's into the 1870s because, again, we're out west. So this is the type of stuff that you're going to be able to find for obsolete type banknotes on it. So, and it does not have a reverse, but it does have kind of the cool overprint that's happening there. So,
Yeah, I did not know that there was an Austin, Nevada. And yeah, with remainders, that's really how you know it's a remainder, this that it has not been signed.
so this next one, I was hoping I was going to get a 15 and we got a 15. And was it clean? No, writing in pencil. Again, I think I didn't finish up, but the old timers writing whatever their, you know, stupid, but that's what they did back in the day. There's also writing over here also on this. Again, I love seeing oh, there's just writing all over this thing. But that's not why I didn't get, I got it because this is another one I'm going to zoom in on because again, great note. This is my Alabama note. So I love the Eagles. I don't know how much more I'm going to do on that, but this is really a cool vignette. That overprint. You look at the detail of the overprint, it's just really cool. Native American woman stepping out of a tent and Benjamin. Yeah, I'm really not doing a good job swinging around with that, but oh well. All right, we'll
It
go
looks
back
good.
out. Looks good. Oh, way far out. All right, Uniface note, you know that. All right, next grade. Sorry, I got to work my screens back and forth if I want to see what I'm doing. This, I was hoping, it's weird how you run into some states. Some states you don't have a problem finding obsolete banknotes at all. You don't have them at all. But this one came in and it was Illinois. So I was hoping for a 15 on this and only got a 12 on it, but I'm way okay with it. This has been what they say pen and crosscut canceled, meaning it's been canceled. I mean, how many times can you cancel this? And I don't know, I don't see the crosscut, a true crosscut on this. I just see the holes, the punch hole cross. They call it a crosscut canceled, I think, but this is definitely taking it out. This is from 1840s, and banks were not the only ones to issue obsolete banknotes that considered them currency. So what would happen is this is called a post note. It is basically currency for that very specific area of Springfield. This is issued by the State of Illinois Fund Commissioner Board of Public Works Office. What they would do is issue currency to raise funds if they were building certain, like a water or street improvement, something like that. So that's what this would be doing, so that they can make money by issuing currency, and that's what they did. This was 1840. This is an old note. Looks like April 1st, 1840. So Illinois, tough note to get. And again, seeing the canceled again, paid as the principal, paid as the principal, paid as the principal all the way up until 1858. So this thing circulated, was redeemed a couple times. I don't know what the 1342 means, but I think this is unbelievably interesting. This is what attracted me to this note. But you know what? We better mention pinholes. Oh boy, we better. Let's get the light out. Let's go forensic. I'm going
I think there's
forensic.
some pretty big pinholes in that.
Oh yeah, there's pinholes. This is like Machine Gun Kelly here. Yeah, there's a lot of pinholes in there. And like Dean said, some pretty big ones. But yeah, I mean, it's like again, if you want to say what the difference is, we don't say anything if it's in the if it's outside of the portrait, or is it 5, 10, 22? I don't know. That's what I get a little bit frustrated on. But I'm very happy with the grade, not unsatisfied at all. All right, now we get into my kind of original collection. This is kind of where things get kind of fun. Is that I picked up this note and it is not a good looking note. So I'm back into USA notes here. And I first submitted this and I got it kicked back. I put it in a holder and they couldn't get it out. So they sent it back in a body bag. And so then I literally, I don't know what was going on, but I don't blame them. But my guess on this next note was it was going to be a 6, hoping for an 8, because it's kind of chewed up, but it's a chewed up note with really great color. Here we go. There it is. A 12 on my Minneapolis $1 1918 Federal Reserve banknote. His piece is missing. Let's see what they say. Edge and surface damage. I don't know what that is, but it's got good color. And again, that's got this film on it. Let's see if there's any no pinholes, surprisingly. But so obviously, I was very happy with the grade on this. And again, going back to my collection and what I look for, this is not, and I could probably pick up a 20 for 150 bucks on this. But this is one of the first big notes that I got probably, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years ago. And it's been sitting there ungraded. And so I've got a certain fondness for this note, and I don't mind it. I'm good with it. And it's going to stay in my collection, and I probably won't upgrade. And of course, you got the Green Eagle, one of the classic Eagles out there. Great vignette. So, all right, next one is my $1, 1899. What did I say? What was I getting hoping for that? Hoping for 15 on it. And again, this is not an expensive note. I've had this note forever. And I just never got it graded. And yeah, it's got some hard folds on it, but I got a 20 very fine. I thought it'd be a 15 and I'd fine with both of it. Still got pretty good color. We've all seen a bazillion of these. It's a classic note, great note. Again, if you're a silver dollar collector, if you only have one large size note, I would get this and pair it up with your a Morgan from the time period. I got small split edge and paper scuffs. I don't know if I've ever seen paper scuffs on that. And it's interesting because if I go back to this note, what would you call this area here? Doesn't that look like paper scuffs? I don't know. I don't know what paper scuffs is. I've just never seen that before. That's okay. But so that's just getting that, hey, I moved up in my world. It's got good color. Again, this is what I always have been looking for. This is a great looking back. All right, one of the few times the back is actually better than the front on this note. So, anyways, that kind of gives you an idea of where I collect. All right, now you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This one I was hoping. This was a hope and a prayer for a 6. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, well, and of course, Andy has joined us, and he was just to follow up. Yeah, he's when it comes to pinholes, it's all about the amount and severity, and sometimes location. And then he was just noting that yes, Minneapolis is a tough district. And then your 20, he says, absolutely textbook 20. And then what you were just showing off, yes, paper scuff, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I've never
then
seen that on it.
yeah,
So, Andy, yeah, thanks.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, he's saying it's minor damage to the body of the paper, which makes sense.
So, this next one, again, I was hoping for an 8. I know this is a grinder note, but again, I picked it up a long time ago, and I'm think I'm going to keep it because not because of the note or I don't want to upgrade. Although this next note, the values have been fluctuating greatly in the last year because I have thought about upgrading the note because it is pretty chewed. But why I'm actually happy with this downgrade of what I guessed, and it turned out it's the 1899 $2 mini porthole, and I got a good 6 on it. And I'm laughing because you know what? I'm okay with that. I getting a good 6. I like having that representation in my collection. For a good 6, it's still got decent body, still has decent color. The blues are actually pretty
I was
amazing.
I was just gonna say that Andy also says, "Ooh, I'm excited to see it." And yeah, no, I as soon as you put that on camera, you can really see that the blue is still popping on that note, especially on a good 6. I think that's pretty amazing.
So yeah, so folks, you don't have to if you're patient. And again, I probably had this note maybe longer than 15 years. It's been a while. And yeah, it's got some issues. It's got a lot of problems, I'm sure. They don't even know, oh, it's comment free 6, Andy. How about that?
Andy just wrote PMG, very good 10.
No, but there's nothing wrong with getting a realistic grade. I'm not disappointed. Again, I was hoping for an 8, more so value wise. And now that I see this, I'm like, yeah, okay. I probably will not upgrade this note. I probably will not. And keep it in my collection. One, because it's been around forever. And my very last note, folks, my very last note. What did I predict this one was going to be? I said it was going to be a 20, and guess what? It's a 20. And again, from my favorite Federal Reserve note, Minneapolis District. Very nice. Just a nice, well used, done. It's done its job. It's got its folds. I love the seal color on it. There's some popping going on. Popping for a 20, I think. Good paper color. The folds in the center aren't too distracting. So, I mean, I'm very, 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 very pleased with this grade. I was hoping for a 20, got a 20, and the back is actually really nice on this too. What happened to my camera? Man,
Yeah, I just was going to ask you, did you just zoom out? Because it just went all the way out.
that means it did something by
Yeah,
itself. Did it turn on the automatic on it?
it might have. Um, Andy also said, so a lot of people won't understand why that note is a 6, but it has to do with the edge and the fold wear from circulation.
Because it's pretty much intact. I'm assuming, Andy, for that. I mean, it is pretty much intact. Let's put the light on this one just while we're talking. Get forensic. Ew, it is a big hole in the middle. I don't even know if I knew that was there or cared. Because again, I just, it was affordable for me, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. Let's see if there's anything fun going on this note. Nothing fun. Just again, Andy says it best when he goes through these notes. It's a note that's done its job, right? It's a note that's done its job. And it's good paper, good everything like that. Overall, there is
That's
my
that's
38
a
notes.
that's a good point, Dan, because like I know you hate coins. But like it is really cool when you see notes and coins that show the wear because it's like Andy pointed out, it's done its job. These were the workhorses of their time period, and that's just so cool.
I will say this, I am converting my collection while talking about what do you do with your notes. I bought these things. So I am converting from my boxes to I'm converting from my boxes to the book. I cannot zoom any farther out on this, but
No,
it's
I think
just
it just shows how large the books are. I
uh,
have three myself. I think they're great. I bought mine because I saw Tyler's over at Currency Relics. I actually love them. I don't know how you feel about yours
yeah,
so
no,
far,
I,
Dan.
I really do. You kind of getting a feel of what I've got in here. This is just my large size note type collections.
It's cool.
So I am currently going through because obviously these albums are about what, 70 bucks a piece, give or take,
Yeah, right around there. If
right around
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
well,
Andy just pointed out one more thing about that note. He says those are issues from circulation, not damage from improper storage. There is a big difference when it comes to grading.
talk about again notes, we'll go through. I mean, look at that. It's a porthole, it's a 15 details on all that fun stuff, but I got it. It's not my favorite note of all. And again, looking at, the red seal, red seals are tough. Red seals are tough. By the way, so here is my better. I actually did have a duplicate. As you can see, I do have a 25 Minneapolis. So I got that graded to resell it, actually. One of the very few notes that I do resell. So, anyways, that's just something that's going on within my collecting world. I'm converting all that and reorganizing how my notes are. It's all of that kind of fun. I'm going to switch cameras here. All right.
It's very cool, Dan. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm ripping out a page from Andy. I'm certainly showing my I'm going to get rid of our view here.
Yep. And PBA said that he also has those box books too, and he loves them. And
They're
they are fantastic. They're
they're
well
beautiful.
worth the price. Yeah.
They are beautiful. The fun thing with me is just I got three of them. I'll probably get one more
Yep.
and just trying to figure out, what's the best way what notes. I'm not putting all of my notes in there. So
Yeah.
all of the obsoletes, everything you saw today will basically they will go in. They
Yeah.
will go in that. So all right, since I'm not gonna do this. I have not seen how we doing on comments, Dean.
Oh, really good. I tried to highlight most. We had a lot of gentlemen. Mark Chen jumped on. He says he loves the channel, loves the currency roundtables. And then Mike, I think it's Mike G Photo. He's really happy, loves your content as well. You got a good crowd today. You were up to 20 some at one point. We have 18 with us right now.
All right. Well, so since we're here, let me see. What am I doing here? I don't know what you guys are seeing. I'm trying to see the comments myself.
They're seeing both of us at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm for what my screen is. I'm just trying to
Oh, gotcha.
I'm trying to catch up on comments and still show what I want to show. Because
Yeah.
everybody should be just seeing our Zoom screen, right?
Yeah, that's what they're seeing. Yep.
All right. So get rid of that. Come
See,
on.
I've got you all on. Oh, you can't see it because it's blurred, but yeah,
What?
I got it on my phone and on my screen, so uh, that way I can see everything that's going out there to everybody that's watching.
So I just got to go back. So I haven't looked at any of the comments. Convict Currency, if you're still on, seriously, guys, thank you for coming in. Big Apple, Jeff Davis, kind of unannounced. I mean, this is kind of what I'm kind of through the winter. I'm debating about going live every Saturday morning at like 10.
Yeah,
Thoughts about that, folks? I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, Blue Oval Pro. Dean's like, I see that he's got sleeves for graded notes, and yes, I do put sleeves, and then I put it in. I I use them, the basically currency condoms is what they are, kind of. Ogre
yeah.
Coins coming in, Mark Chen, thank you.
We
Roy,
all joke about that, but it really, I took a bunch of coins to a coin dealer recently, and I have the same little things for my coin holders or for my slabs. Um, and
yeah,
they noted that they were like, "Wow, you really take care of your collection." I said, "Yeah, I really do." So I think it does show that extra level of that you're taking care of your collection. And then when you do go to resell, especially if you're in front of the person and they see how you keep your collection, um, you know, it helps.
and they are so unbelievably cheap.
Yep.
Although I had them, I'm going to my eBay right now because that's where I bought mine. I'll throw a link in. And they're so cheap, and it's like I keep them inside and then I put them in my album if anybody cares. Um, I don't know. I'm always interested in how other people, I'm not saying what I do is right, but
Yeah, Andy's just chiming in on the how to store notes. Says I store all my notes in a watertight container. Those books are super solid. Also, you don't want to store them where UV can be present daily. And I think
yeah,
that's something that a lot of people do forget.
from my okay, I work for a historical society. I deal with these and bringing out, doing exhibits, displaying items, and you can expose things. They just need to be limited.
Right.
UV glass, like the frames that I have around me have UV glass in them. I'm also not terribly concerned about the value of those notes that have been framed. And by the
Right.
way, they're in sleeves, then they've been mounted. The sleeves have been mounted. So if I wanted to exchange those notes, I could because the
Yeah.
frames are open in the back. Regardless, you can put them out for a while, rotate them though. I would not leave them out in 30 days. I wouldn't leave them out for more than like 4 hours in direct sunlight, just ever, by the way. Just avoid direct sunlight. Um, period. I'm trying to
Yeah. Good point. Andy just said, see a coin store put out a peach brown back in their store display. Almost a year later, the seal and the cereals were done.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really whoever.
that's
Yeah, that's
ridiculously
just dumb.
stupid.
But yeah, I believe it though. That's the thing. I believe that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what's weird. All right, so I get my fake PCGS currency holders, right? I get those. I used to get them from China. Okay. Sleeves, the large
Yeah,
currency soft, I'll
slaves.
call them soft sleeves. I'm not seeing them. Well, here they are. Here's, anyways, they came from China. And yeah, these are just for small size notes. I'm not talking about if anybody's seen a sleeve from a really cheap, I'm talking a sleeve holder. These are sleeve protectors. All right. These are
Yeah,
protectors. They're two different things. I'm
yeah.
talking,
They go over the actual.
yes.
Yep.
And
Graded note.
I am not, so I used to keep them in my, watched items for permanently when I wanted to reorder them. And guess what? They're gone.
Yeah.
They are, meaning that seller is no longer selling the sleeves. And so that's China. That's the whole whatever. I don't want to go. It just is what it is. So I just did a quick search on currency sleeve protectors. I couldn't find them. So I'm sorry, I can't even give you a link to those. But
Yeah.
um, take care of them like the sleeves that I have, and I need to reorder. So that's kind of like a bummer. Um, So that box, I put the sleeve on over the holder and then put the holder in the sleeve of the album.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does go to show you that.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's really all that's fun. If you came in late and you want to see my grandson,
Go to the beginning.
go to the beginning. We brought out grandson right away because he's staying here for the weekend with my oldest daughter. And yeah, you can see me be a grandpa because, I'm an old mother. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I use guardhouse, no PVC holders, PBA 42456. I I am not disagreeing with PVC. Again, being in the historical industry, there nobody is concerned about PVC and paper. Key word, paper. Um, there is a thing saying, well, it's kind of like, could it do damage? There's no science saying that it can, at least within the historical document industry. I'm sure you can find something on somewhere that always says yes. I know that we're not concerned about it with my historical society. I know other historical societies are not concerned about it. But when it comes to coins, totally different story. PVC is bad, 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 bad. But with paper, it's not. But if that, and I don't mean this sarcastically, guardhouse, if you feel better, whatever makes you feel better.
Yeah.
It really is up to you, but good thing out there. Um, Imagine that, Andy, you're super picky about protective sleeves. PVC, yeah,
Yeah. Andy says PVC is
I'll
hard.
agree. Tell
Well,
me,
I
tell me who
would.
says that, Andy, because in my industry, they don't. I'm just saying.
Well, I guess you're right with coins because
With
it
coins, yeah.
seems to react faster.
Coins
But
is
I guess where I would be worried with the paper, it might not react with the paper, but as PVC breaks down, it creates that greenish kind of slime over decades. So I would be worried, like if you put your paper collection into a PVC collect or PVC holders and then left them for 2 decades, especially if they're not in AC, like a controlled
well, yeah,
environment. If it's getting to those up and down temperatures, I don't know. Andy says PVC makes paper brittle. I've never heard that, and so I'm going to take Andy for his word on that. Which again, everything reacts differently. There's always that so it absolutely could.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, you could say, okay, PVC is going to react to the metallic ink in obsolete banknotes. That could be a thing.
that's true too. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, it's really the metal that's in there, but I am not an expert by any way
Yeah, we need
whatsoever.
a chemist. That's what
Yeah.
we need.
No, we had one doctor on, Dr. Wise. We're not having any more doctors.
Uh,
He can come back, by the way.
I've seen 60-year-old collections and all the notes get greasy. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If you're That's what it's the same thing that happens with your coins is it gets that green grease on it. I don't know if it's green on the paper because again, I think that's different, but exactly like Andy's saying, they get greasy from the PVC and then that's all over your paper. And how do you get it off? You can't.
Just, yep. I'm not going to argue. I'm just saying I'm on the opposite side. I'm not seeing it within the historical document industry from the
Yeah.
Historical Society, and those have been stored longer too.
Yeah, main product of
Yeah,
PVC
it's
is oil.
plastic.
Yes, that's right.
It's plastic.
Yep.
By the way, and that's the other thing, fun.
Yeah. Oil and paper don't go together. Yeah.
Really?
Oil and most things don't go together unless it's meant to have oil on it.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, pretty much that's it today. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Dean, you've got anything? I want to thank Dean, by the way, for co-hosting and running, because it's like trying to do this live thing. Obviously, it took us a half an hour to figure out Zoom, but it's much. I'm not complaining because I enjoy doing this. But it's a lot different. It's a lot different setup.
Yes.
It's much easier to just film a video with your camera and then edit it and go on.
It is, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate
Don't
that.
forget to like. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really all I got today. Have a chance to be like Andy. I want to be like Andy.
Well, and
he doesn't.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here and Andy hopping on and sharing some of his knowledge because it's good.
By the way, Andy put out a new video this week.
I think he's done like 3 in the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yes, and he was sick,
which I've been enjoying. So thank you, Andy. I don't always comment, but please know I watch.
But his last video had some. I mean, this is what's great about Andy. I mean, yeah, he will have here's a lot of 1899 silver certificates or 57s, but he always has stuff mixed in. It's never all that.
Yep.
But Andy generally has a good random. Here's some U.S. large. Here's some U.S. small. Here's some obsoletes. He had some very interesting script warrant notes from Texas. And even if you don't collect those things, it's just really cool to see them because you just don't that often, let alone seeing probably, what did he have, like 20 varieties of Texas warrant notes? How cool is that?
It is cool. Because really, and thank you, Andy, for sharing those because we don't get to see that stuff. Like, so to see, like, when are you going to see like 20 of those? You know what I mean? Or really anything.
Yeah.
So when you're showing that off, it's just so cool to see so many examples of a same note. It's cool.
So,
now he's building Legos and
building Legos.
That's
and
cool.
He's got 4 kids.
Awesome.
He's a busy guy. As all of us are. I mean, it really is. But I appreciate everybody coming on today. Thank you for listening, and hopefully, it was fun for me. Fun. I don't know. It's what I do. Maybe I will continue to do this. I've got a couple more orders. I just sent one off to Canada again, Dean.
Nice.
I sent all my 1954s Canadian off, and they actually got there this time, the first time.
Good.
So we got that system down. I do have another order into PCGS that won't be back for a while. But I'm going to address PBA just like the first, second, etc. charter period debate. Right? Exactly. Love.
Oh, it's awesome. That's awesome.
I will reinstate. I have chosen to drop the second charter, third charter, first charter thing only because when I do my videos, I am actually writing script. I write a script and I record it. So I'm not hiding any secrets on that.
And finish your thought.
Finish my thought. I see Andy's. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. It must have been super important. Writing. Oh, dropping it. It's just easier to say. It's just a series of 1875 value back. Done.
Absolutely.
I don't have to say first charter 8 million times or second charter.
Exactly.
So to me, it's not about the debate. It makes sense, I guess, but you want to call it is historically first, second, third charter. That's undeniably, that's what they were called. So
Yeah.
historically,
but it does make sense why people are saying you can drop it.
yeah, exactly. Total.
More importantly, Andy is saying that he's on the road this week, and we should do a live. And when he says we, I'm assuming he means you.
No, he means you. Where are you at, Andy? Where are you going? Where in the world is Andy? And yes, we can do a live. Love it. Love it. Your channel, mine, I don't care. I actually slummed it pretty hard and did a live with Dean.
Dude, I'm not even showered yet.
I know it. I know it. You look good, though.
Which I do have to get going because I got some important stuff to say.
I got to go out and rake the lawn. That's my excitement. All right. Yes, we'll do a road. And by the way, that live with Dean, that was a great live. That was a great video. Dean, well, I'm going to do it myself. Folks.
Yeah, that was really good what you guys did, especially because you really did a deep dive on whatnot and that using that as a selling platform was really good.
No, I am not talking about that.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one hosted on your channel, my friend.
Oh, with Ontario and you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. When we talked about coin shows, the coin shows we've been going to. I know, and I feel like Ontario is going to a coin show like every weekend, which I'm like a little jealous.
He was at one yesterday.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like it seems like he's always going, which is cool.
So this is with Dean, Ontario.
Massabesic Numismatics, Ontario, polar currency. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we showed a lot of great notes too. So yeah, if you guys check that out.
I'm hammering that. Seriously, it really is. It's a fun video. Dean was kind enough to host us, and it was fun. Yeah. All right. With that, folks, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great rest of the weekend. Dean, thank you. Thank you to everybody
anytime
who's and joining us. I appreciate it greatly, folks. Take care.